It's rolling.
Just checking.
Yeah.
I'm going to move this. I don't want to eat while I'm...
Yep, don't eat on mic.
The lip smacking has got to be amazing.
There's a little heat on that.
I learned that from Todd Barry's book, as we share that same, it's called misophonia.
Yeah.
The irritation of lip smacking.
It's, fucking drives you fucking crazy. Mouth sounds. Yeah, so I always knew I had it, and every time I brought it up on the podcast, I'm sure someone tweeted that at me, but after I read Todd Barry's book, I don't know when it's coming out, but I wrote the foreword. So, yeah. What's the...
What's the name of the book? Do you remember?
Thank you for coming to Hattiesburg. And wasn't there just like there was just a giant tornado there. Killed a bunch of people. But we played there at Hattiesburg. It's a travel log book of a year playing the same shitholes we play. A lot of the specific same shitholes. Ronert Park, Sally Tomatoes. You remember that gig?
Wow,
Yeah.
he's doing that?
Yeah, he did that. And Hattiesburg, we played the Thirsty Hippo.
Thirsty Hippo, that's right.
And I remember taking a picture of it going, hey, if you're... Anyway, never mind.
That was the one that had the actual venue was up front, like a coffee house, and then in the back... We walked in
just
thinking...
looked through the window when it was closed.
We're looking through the window before, hours before the gig to, get a lay of the land because no one's even there.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, fuck.
This is going to be the fucking worst.
Because there's a little there's a corner stool stage for someone to do poetry or to acoustic guitar or something.
Yeah, we didn't know there's a full stage in the back.
We've had gigs like that where it's that's your stage.
And it was never Hattiesburg was new on the menu. So Chad Shank is back.
Hello, everybody.
Yay!
People stop in traffic, applaud, and then keep going. Jobi's here. Chaille's here. Tracy's working the bar. All is right in the world. I have nothing. I've been just working on the book and nothing else. So I have a podcast list that's blank. All I know is... Yeah, all I know is Mishka Shabali is he's coming to the UK May 4 through 28 in this year of our Lord 2017, the year of no God, assuredly. And he needs dates. He's having a hard time getting fucking clubs to book. So at Mishka Shabali or mishkashabali.com, it's not that hard to find him on Google. Mishka Shabali, Shubaly. I think he's the only guy that comes up when you Google that. So yeah, get a hold of him. I've worked your club. Book Mishka. He's not a comedian. He's a songwriter in a Tom Waits vein that is drunkard friendly to the extreme, and he's pretty funny. But it's If you get any kind of fucking gin joint, hole in the wall, corner bar with a stage like the front of the Thirsty Hippo, he'll play the front of the Thirsty Hippo. If there's maybe a I'm trying to. I was going to say, what do they call themselves? Liverpool and Manchester, they have weird names for themselves. Scousers.
They're not Thirsty Hippos? Oh, that was a local reference.
I didn't know if Liverpool maybe had another branch or franchise of the Thirsty Hippo Hattiesburg chain. I'm going to just throw this entire podcast on you,
the listener.
Tom, any
my
point,
favorite kind of podcast.
Tom has
refuses to talk, throws it on everybody else.
But I sure hope Doug refuses to talk, but only interjects with snide remarks, comments, and blowing smoke through the microphone.
Just maybe in another direction.
I feel really bad because we have a couple of old Alaska friends. Oh, shit. Wasn't she going to be on the podcast?
She was just here 2 minutes ago.
All right. I thought that's why we rushed this.
We're not rushing anything. This is about the time we usually start.
No, I'm saying that she's only here for a limited time.
Oh.
Exactly.
Well, tomorrow night we were all going to go to dinner because they're leaving on Friday morning.
Yeah, that's why at some point we got to get Luquer on this podcast.
Yeah.
Does she know that?
Yes.
I just realized that's why we made the snap decision to do this tonight before she left.
That's why I wanted Tracy and her to get up here a little glug going for Luquer, and then the stories will come.
Yeah, well, then maybe we have to take an extended break after we open this up. A lot of people, including myself, are not just glad to see Chad Shank back, but actually in a good headspace.
Yeah.
And
No, I'm not in a good headspace at all, but I'm able to fake it. I haven't been able to fake it at all.
This is where I cry bullshit because as I was trying to pound out the rest of a chapter of the book since you got here, you came in talking about you've been working on fucking audible.com, not .com, but
ACX,
voiceover shit, and you've been motivated. I don't know if that's through stimulants or just feeling good.
No, I have not taken any more of the dirty Adderall since the last time we discussed it on here. A lot of people on Twitter thought maybe that's why I was gone. I was on a meth binge, but I was not. I'm probably still recovering from that. I think most of that went away. I think I just been having regular old suicidal thoughts. I don't think
Nothing wrong with that.
Ho-hum, yawn.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't need drugs to have a bad time.
Listen.
I can be suicidal naturally.
I thought about it a while back, and I was trying to, like, where did this go seriously wrong? And I think it's whenever I decided I was like, I need to have meditation. I was going to talk to Tom because I know Tom does.
Tom
martial
just
arts
joined
and
us, by the
stuff.
way.
So I started meditating because I was depressed and I hated myself, and it raised my awareness. But not in the way that I wanted it to, because then I just hated myself because I hate myself. I was like, that's where I really went bad. I was better off when I was naive.
But you look better than the last. You look better right now than the last time. It really does.
Solid faker.
Yeah.
That's,
you are fucking good, man.
Kind of why I've been afraid to do hallucinogens for the last several years. I have broken down when I was drinking, but yeah, I don't want that kind of clarity. When I used to enjoy hallucinogens, it's because I was feeling better about myself. So internal reflection was not going to be grimacing.
That's why you need a face painter on staff.
Yeah.
That tiger seems sad, but he's happy.
I've never seen a sad turtle.
Sad eyes, yeah.
Turtle.
Tom is. We're not even going to do that.
We can talk about it, but
Blue Apron.
Yeah.
We'll still throw him a bone. We'll talk about him. You cooked a meal. We'll talk about that in detail when we're actually
After a break.
when we have to plug.
Yeah.
We start plugging people for free that are paying us, then fuck it.
What the
But
fuck?
I'll just say we ate and no one's complaining.
it's really good. I mean,
I like that.
it's pork, and I don't eat pork, but
No, not everybody does.
yeah.
It's the alternative. It's the other white meat.
Yeah.
See, with Blue
the fuck that
Apron,
means.
fuck it.
There it is, the
They
segue.
resist.
With Blue Apron, because even with the free Audible and CISO, my last special went out. You could get it for free with a subscription, or sign up, you get it free, and then you can cancel if you want. Same thing with the book on audible.com. And my fans would still be more comfortable. Not all of my fans, but you know who you are. It's easier for them to steal than fill out a form. You can't steal Blue Apron. Oh yeah, I downloaded that meal on Pirate Bay or some shit. Yeah. So I think this sponsor will work out.
I think the biggest thing too is remembering to cancel if you don't want it. That's what most people are afraid of. But you have smartphones and stuff. Set an alarm. That's what I do when I set up something that I want to try out. and say, I want to, you know.
Remember to hate this in 3 weeks.
No, if I like it, I'll keep it going. That fucking Blue Apron is good. But if you don't like it, you can have a timer that tells you this is when you have to unsubscribe. I have one that I'm waiting for CISO right now.
I've probably brought it up, but I've been paying for my subscription to Phil Hendry, $4.99 a month.
Phil Hendry.
For
I haven't heard that name.
years.
At least 3 years.
Way more than 3 years.
Well, we were on tour with, was it Junior?
This is back in Junior and Carlos Valencia days.
That's what I mean. I think it was Junior.
Yeah, that's like 2010 or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't know how to cancel it. I mean, I've downloaded everything. I think I've listened in that amount of time to all the Phil Hendry that I could ever find, and I just pay $4.99 a month because I like the guy.
Yeah.
There's a plug.
Phil Hendry is worth
Phil
$4.99
Hendry.
a month.
If you have not heard his entire library of decades of brilliance, yeah, get into it.
Oh, you get the archive for Phil Hendry, which is the reason you kept it. Was like, well, we'll go on tour again, and then we'll just download more. But the archive is so extensive because it goes back to when he was doing it live on the radio in Los Angeles.
Yep.
This is when you could fucking do one of these shows where you like 99.9% of the people were in on the joke, and that 0.1%
that was
the fucking
they didn't know.
Incensed, just like, how can you do this?
Yeah, you racist
Tom,
bastard.
you knew Phil Hendry?
Oh, yeah, I used to listen to him all the
it's
time.
fucking great.
Yeah, are you of the black? That means you're of the white. And some would call in. They have no idea. It's a complete fucking goof. It was so funny. I haven't heard him in a long time. $4.99? Fuck, I'll get him another month.
Well,
On Stanhope's money.
He has such a library that by the time you ever get through with it, you could start over and not remember all the shit.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the first time I heard it, I got completely taken in. Because I didn't know. This goes back years. I thought, oh, this
now
guy's
we're gonna
an
have to back up and explain
this guy's
it.
an edgy fuck.
Phil Hendry would be on AM talk radio on stations that were, legit. You'd call in, the Democrats and the well,
Major market.
Phil Hendry would do a straight AM talk show where he's the straight guy, and he would always have a guest on the phone that was so over the top outrageous that. And he'd slow burn this. He was doing 3-hour shows. I mean, they were in segments, but he'd do a full hour where he slow burns. Now, so what you're saying is you're trying to petition to get the names of the 9/11, and this is around 9/11, shortly after, of the 18 terrorists that were killed added to the memorial wall. And what people don't know, he's doing both voices. It's a ventriloquist act.
It's incredible.
So he would, be himself. He'd switch from the microphone onto the phone, going, "Well, Phil, they were human beings too." And but let me get this right. And then he'd just keep burning this, whatever outrageous idea the caller had. Until people started calling in, going, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Listen,
this guy off
the ultimate troll. It was genius.
And then he would be the okay, well, he does have a good point there. And then they just start fights between the fake caller and the people calling in. It was brilliant. Are you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
The first time I heard it was when I went on the road with you guys, but I was in on you guys told me what it was beforehand, or I would have been suckered in completely. Since then, I've seen they have YouTube videos where it shows him
that's
being
amazing.
3 people.
Oh, I saw him do it live.
It's fucking brilliant to see this guy switching characters super fast. It's amazing.
Brilliant.
Well, sometimes he's doing 4 voices. The one being the host of the show, and then what you don't understand is when he is talking on the mic, and then he, like what you said, Doug, he pulls up a receiver to a handheld phone, and he speaks into that. He has to cut the mic that is his announcer mic, or he pulls off to the side, and he's doing all of this, and then it's like
all by himself.
All by himself.
That's
And but I'll put a clip.
Yeah, confidentiers.
exactly.
It was the
Exactly
first
what I
time
was
when I
thinking
saw
of.
him in Aspen. Tom and I used to on the phones
It was
because everyone's
absolutely
yelling.
necessary.
It was a confidencer that you would put.
yeah.
So directional mic for a
Directional
phone,
mic,
basically.
Much like the Shure SM58, you
How
get
many
right in front of
sponsors
it.
are we going to have?
No, it's right in front of
old
it.
SM58.
What you're talking about is a confidencer. It like really squashes it down. So like unless you're right in front of the microphone, it won't pick it up.
Yeah.
So it won't grab anything from
Right.
behind it. And that's why when you call or fucking Tel Aviv or wherever you're doing a customer service, that room is vast
It's
and huge.
cacophony.
You don't even realize how many people are there because it just sounds like one person in a cubicle when you look up and there's just fucking an expanse. But he's got all that fucking shit. And I'll put a link on the page for the show notes to see the YouTube thing. It is pretty
I
awesome.
can't wait to see that. That is killer, Ggreg.
Would he be mad if we put on a clip right here or something?
I doubt it. You know what? Go out and watch yourself some Phil Hendry. Go into the archives, find whatever you find, and listen. You're gonna listen to a lot of it. Tell us your favorite. My favorite guest, because they recur. Ted Bell.
Oh, Ted's
That's
at Beverly Hills.
That's the steakhouse, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I don't know what the name of it is, but I know you guys will. The steakhouse.
Here's the jingle. I'll play the jingle right here.
Ted's a Beverly Hills steakhouse. Come on down. Here at Ted's, we want to put our meat in your mouth.
What was it? He claims to be the inventor of the rum and coke.
No, the Ted.
The Ted.
It's the Ted.
Yeah.
We were on tour asking, we'd go to fucking some bar where you're going to play, and we'd ask him for a Ted. Be like, come on, don't you have it? Just tell me how to make it. Well, you get rum, and you got Coca-Cola here? Like, what, a rum and coke? Yeah, a Ted.
A Ted. A fucking Ted.
We were assholes.
Oh, my God.
Margaret. He does it female characters
Yeah.
that are so believable.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. God damn it. Now I have to fucking see that YouTube.
Yeah,
He's brilliant.
it's definitely the hole to go down. If you're in a YouTube hole,
Yeah.
go down a Phil
will
Hendry
lift you somewhere.
best of
And Henry is spelled...
Hendrie.
Oh, okay. IE. Good.
All right. Well, any other plugs we have?
I'm giddy. I remember that was fun, man.
Giddy?
He's
It is.
Phil Hendry puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't like old radio people who get crotchety and can't fucking figure out how to navigate these times of podcasting and other things. And he just said, "Fuck it, I'm putting everything I own." He was smart enough to own it or to get it, and now it's all in the archive. And he fucking does whatever he wants to do. He's like a guy who like shows up on like cameos on like Law and Order or something.
Oh,
I've
and
seen him on
shitloads
things.
of
Yeah,
voiceover for cartoons
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so good for him.
The great Phil Hendry.
Jobi, mired down, and everyone else's league started January 15th, right?
Right.
And
Well, no,
ours-
that's just when the site starts. And you
Okay,
can,
the site
but-
started.
So we have
Because there's
homes-
already people with 189 fucking death pool points, and ours doesn't even start for another day.
Yeah, yeah. And there's homes locking down every single day. So I'm wiped. It's calming down now, where petitions and orders and whatnot are, they're kind of waning a little bit. But yeah, it's been an amazing start to the season. So we've got a lot of people playing. Mary Tyler Moore died today.
Yeah.
Did she really?
Yeah, I saw that on
I did not
Newser.
know
It
that.
says Mary Tyler Moore saying goodbye to her family. People say that it's
She lived a long life.
anytime, and so I go, oh, I have 1 day and 11 hours before our league locks down. So I go and change all my shit, and then as soon as I change all the shit, she's dead.
Well, I
go.
texted him. I texted him today. Mary Tyler Moore
Put
circling
Bob
the drain.
Dole
She's-
back in.
She's
Bob
in the
Dole.
hospital. She's circling the drain, and it was like 5 minutes later she died, and I just texted, and she's dead.
Never
And
mind.
he
It
just,
was the exact amount of time it took me to go into the death pool, change my site, get a new alternate, change my guy, and then as soon as I did that, boom.
Mary Tyler Moore never knew that her death would be widely discounted by thousands of people because she wasn't a politician.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I had no bonus
my
points.
God.
Who gives a fuck about Mary Tyler Moore?
Fuck her. But 180 people had her, so I mean, that was a good hit. Yeah, there's still time. I think it's the first day of February or last day of January is when the Killer Termites home locks down, and that's your last from now until then is your last chance to join up, and that's when we're giving away a TV and a tablet and a bunch of stuff. So
I could use my same picks that I have for ours and join that one just to compete with different people, though, right? All right.
That's what I did.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
yeah, just
Because I waited until yesterday to make my picks for.
Did you do any
closing
research?
I did a lot of research. Being suicidal keeps you up a lot at night, so I had to think about something. So
you've got some great picks.
I pulled in some decent ones. And if anybody is getting pissed off at Jobi, I bombarded him with probably 8 or 9 solicitations to add new people, trying to get a solo pick in the last minute. And all my shit got denied because it was weak. So if your shit got denied, don't fucking think that we're not hypocrites over here at the death.
Bingo came in at one point when I was sitting there. I took a moment from my day to do a little bit of research to get away from the book. Bingo came in, and I was obviously lost in thought. And she goes, "What are you thinking about?" And I said, "Suicide." She goes, "Suicide? Why?" I go, "Oh, no, I'm doing death pool research, and every time I see someone with a disease that's all fucked up, I think, how would I handle that in that situation? And if I had ALS, how long would I wait until I committed suicide? Because you never know when all of a sudden your hands won't work." So I wasn't depressed thinking about suicide.
No.
It was just Chad Shank thinking about suicide.
You're shanking it.
No, I was depressed thinking about suicide.
You were last time I saw you. You just happened to
Little
be
bit.
in the neighborhood and dropped by, and I was already drunk. I think it was football.
That's football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I hadn't been here for a long time, and everybody might decide that I wasn't their friend anymore if I didn't come by at least once. I'd stop by and say hi.
So you ruined it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Came
fuck.
I was almost out.
Then they pulled you back in.
Well, yeah, I didn't. You were saying, yeah, probably only a matter of time. And I was so dragged out. I said, "Yeah, I got nothing positive to say in response." couldn't even tell you're wrong.
Because you know I'm right. That's where I struggle with it, too.
Yeah, but usually when we have that conversation, it's in a tomorrow we're going to feel like this. But we were both in the moment of feeling like that. Usually we're both happy when we're here, and then I just wanted everyone to get the fuck out of the house. I don't know where this book's going. I don't know. Yeah, it's just every fucking day. And it's every day. I'll stare at the computer for 2 hours and just guts turning. And then as soon as I start writing, fucking take a half an Adderall and then wait till I've got some structure. Okay, I looked at it sober, and now I can see where this will fit with this, and I do the structure part, and then, all right, now I need words, and I need good words, and the more I drink, the more my vocabulary just grows exponentially.
Exponentially.
Yeah, if we were doing this 4 hours ago, I would have had to go to thesaurus.com and go a lot. Exponentially.
Yeah.
Actually, exponentially, isn't that bigly?
Bigly.
To use something that is
Bigly.
now in the vernacular?
I have typed some words into thesaurus.com that were completely the wrong word.
Or new?
There was a deadbeat hero. I still remember. Using something about a girl with her running down the street with her truncated rectum, holding her truncated rectum in her hands like a sea snake.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it wasn't for fucking years until Bingo's friends showed up for some party. Robin and Scott Clabby, I think it was. No, who's the young one? Nick O'Gara. One of them said, yeah, just watch your thing, and that whole truncated sea snake, and it's somehow I realized I was the opposite, not just a wrong word, the opposite. Was prolapsed was what I should have used. Truncated means shortened. And I thought I used a great big word in a bit, and it was years later, and now can't fucking erase it. Hey, everyone on Deadbeat that owns Deadbeat Hero, there's a recall.
Wait, are we fixing it or are we just buying them?
You can't hold your shortened colon in your hands like a sea snake. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
But truncated sounds funny.
I knew evidentially I would become a container. That was comic Butch Lord, who I knew in the day, doing a bit about how boxers should never give interviews. Well, Ted, I knew evidentially I would become a container.
Evidentially. Funny shit.
Chad got another voiceover
Yeah, I printed it out. Are we going to talk about it?
offer.
We got an offer, yeah. Offers come in.
Yeah.
Not many of them come to fruition, but offers come in.
Someone was a kind of a similar offer, not an offer, an ask that I'll never remember. Like if I had time, I'd probably. I thought it out, and if you're the guy who sent me the email, his friend is he's from Australia, but his friend's having a wedding in the UK, and he's gonna be the best man, and he wanted me to make a video of something he could show at the reception, and first of all, anything that's baby related. Hey, can you help my GoFundMe page? My kid has a fucking, muscular dystrophy in its head or whatever. Like, no, you had a fucking kid. You know that I'm against kids. It's your own fault for fucking taking that chance. That's what you do. You created death. I'm not going to get behind kids and weddings. No, I'm against legal marriage. It's a pointless institution. But I did think it would be funny to do some kind of video that, hey, Carolyn, my name is Doug Stanhope. The basic, not basic instinct. I'll give you a fucking $1 million for one night with your wife.
Indecent proposal.
Indecent proposal. Something to that effect. Like offering her, I'll get you citizenship or whatever. I went on a flight of fancy with the ideas of things I could do to fuck up their wedding. But I'll never get around to it.
And it'd be hard to convince him that the only way you'll do this is if you can play it live without them reviewing it. So that the parents can all see this and go, you paid for this?
No, they weren't even offering money.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it would be funny to do some stroking a cat with my beer gut fucking blown out through a smoking robe.
Your truncated beer gut?
Prolapsed.
Correction.
Oh, Jesus. Ichabod, you
Ichabod
fucking
just
fat
jumped
dog.
up.
The dogs have been really underfoot lately. You'd think I had bacon wrapped shoelaces.
Yeah.
Henry keeps
wrapped
following my feet around. I moved to the left. I'm trying to set up the gear here today.
Yeah.
And she was under my feet the whole fucking time. I'm like, what's going on? Did I step in something?
Yeah.
Do I owe you money?
Yeah.
But the dog, Ichabod, was right
Okay.
right behind Doug's feet to where if he just shuffled your feet, you end up kicking the dog in the nose.
You must have stepped in some Blue Apron food.
That's a good thing, right?
You mean delicious.
Eventually, we're
Dogs
gonna
like it too.
be just scrambling for new ways to talk about Blue Apron.
I figured at some point I'll just read a professional fucking thing off of a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's always a goal.
Yeah, but
we got,
Wait,
we
you
got
want-
some in the hopper already.
That's when everyone has to figure out at what point during the podcast do we fast forward.
Oh, I listen to podcasts. If you listen to podcasts in iTunes, they have a forward 30 seconds button, so you can always hit as soon as they say they're going to do
Yeah,
that.
but we don't do 30-second commercials. We try to make fun with it.
Well,
So
then you don't want to fast forward
Actually,
through it anyway.
They're working on an 8-minute fast forward button for the Doug Stanhope podcast.
So, but that's why it's more fun to. Like, at some point, you just made me think it would be fun to take one Blue Apron dish versus another and see which one Ichabod, my dog, prefers.
Okay, that's a great idea. I'm going to cut that out because I want to do that.
Why? We can still do it.
But we should do it just to
do
do
it
it. We shouldn't
live.
say we're going to do it.
Well, I'm just.
That's fucking hilarious.
Well, you're not going to cut that out. All right,
Cut it out.
And
already.
we're back.
cut it out.
Cut it.
But you know what? We should talk about this because someone tweeted. Yes, all right, I get it. I should have picked up Chad last week. All right.
I remember
But
that.
there was
yeah.
another one where one person said something about how long our Blue Apron commercial was. I mean, the first one was like 6 minutes and 8 minutes because we sit and talk about it. We have the paper that we're supposed to read the shit. Okay, but we sit and talk about it, and it's like, well, they're sponsoring the show. You listeners aren't sponsoring the show other than listening. There's no pay for this, and there's someone who's willing to pay us money to keep the lights on.
Shit.
And it's a logical opportunity for them to get another fucking drink. Yeah, you're not to
Speaking of,
stand
what do you
and
need?
not
I
fucking move.
on my mail here. That was.
You moved it.
Over here.
Oh, no.
Here
it is.
Talking about having a sponsorship and stuff. I listened to. It's been nice not being on the last couple podcasts because I can listen to them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to miss Konopka's stories whenever I'm not here because it's still fucking great stories.
Yeah, no, I said you got to
So-
get back. I'm out
So
of
I've been-
stories. I'm
so
out
I
of town.
listened to a couple of them. One of them, I think it was one of the it was just you and Stanhope at the fireside one.
That was
if
right.
you
Yeah.
use the 15-second or 30-second and just hit it nonstop, one after another,
Yeah.
the podcast is hilarious. Because you have no idea what anybody's
nonstop.
talking about. It's just one non sequitur fucking thing after another.
It's a great idea.
It's really good to do it that way.
That's
But
it. Put it on. That's it. Put it on scramble skip.
Scramble skip.
It's brilliant.
It's like that Google button. I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah,
Boom.
it's brilliant.
I had a point. I forgot what the fuck it was. I think
Listening
I've
to the
already
podcast.
Tom
while not being
Konopka
here.
stories.
Tom Konopka stories.
Enough of the stories already.
But moving forward, but people complaining about one person complaining about the length of our Blue Apron thing. It's because we sit and we just talk about it. I mean, we have to hit bullet points, but we have to make it interesting for us.
There's going to be one guy that complains
The
about
contrarian.
one thing all the time.
That's what I was going to say too. You guys had talked about newspapers on the last thing, and I worked at the Sierra Vista Herald Bisbee Daily Review, which you guys talked about as the fucking circulation manager for a while. And you talk about something crazy is I would have to try to sell a product that they simultaneously gave away for free on the internet because you guys are like, it's like a paywall on the thing. I'm like, yeah, because they're trying to sell real subscriptions. I'm a decent salesman. I can overcome objections on the fly. But if I'm like, well, why don't you, well, what's stopping you from buying this subscription? I can read it for free right here. I have absolutely no way to overcome
There's
that.
no rebuttal.
Yeah, there's no.
You win. Have a good day.
So that's why
Yeah.
they fucking did that. I wanted to interject that from the last
Sure, you fucking cheapskate. Sure, get the free version. I'll be out of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, shame them.
It's
It's a last ditch effort. You might get 1 out of 1,000. It's always worth a shot.
Sure.
2 cents. Yeah, absolutely.
Coffee
Unqualified
closers.
lead. Go to the next.
What I'm saying is one of these days I'll get over here during an actual sponsored podcast and maybe I can have gas money home. That's my whole fucking goal in life at this point.
I got some money. It's always you guys getting the money. Where's your name? Steve. Steve in Cortez, Colorado. I don't want to say
Steve.
your last name for some reason. I think you don't want me to. He said, I want nothing from you. Not an autograph or a thank you note or a phone call or shit from your store. I'm sending you this money, $250, for all the therapy you've provided over the years. So just take the goddamn money, Steve.
Steve.
FYI, I put for deposit only on the back of this check to assure the money goes to you. There is no catch.
That's a brilliant guy.
And
Steve.
Nice guy,
You're a
I
good
thought I
man,
should
Steve.
spread that money around for the
Stevie.
podcast until he said to assure the money goes
Then
to
it's
you.
got to be. That's exactly where the fuck it's got to
Kind
go.
of like our gambling money rules.
Yeah.
Oh well, I bet you $10 on the game, but I already owe you 20. No, gambling money is separate from
Yes.
other debts.
Cross the
Yes.
table.
You wouldn't want your money you gave to your therapist going to some other therapist that didn't help you. So, there you go.
Exactly. There you go.
And if Steve really didn't want anything, shouldn't we have changed his name?
Well, that's why I didn't say his
Yeah,
name.
his name is Klaus.
I think Steve so much didn't want anything that he changed his name before he sent it. He's
Yeah.
not even
Exactly.
Steve.
Well, his full name is on the return address sticker, and
Oh, that
do you ever
name.
feel bad about doing that? Because there's a couple things I feel a little bit bad, not bad, but I should. Is one when you go on Wikipedia and they have that begging announcement. Listen, like
yeah.
how much
The
does
donations, enough already.
everybody use? If everyone just sent $3,
I saw that fucking today.
I sent him 10. I
who
covered all you
deserves it
motherfuckers.
more?
I feel so
I
much
did that
better.
once. I go, all right, I just did this for 40 people. I said, whatever, however many people, one time. But every time I've seen it over the years. But the other one is when like Easter seals send you
Return
the fucking
labels.
return address labels. I don't give them a fucking thing, but I use those labels, and if I run out, I'm angry.
You'll never run out. If you
Never.
keep getting them,
And
it's enough.
I'll never send a check to Easter seals because it probably has something to do with kids.
Veterans groups send me those things all the time.
Oh,
Want
Wounded
me to
Warriors.
donate, and they give me
Endless.
shitloads of them. Makes you seem like a good guy when you mail something.
I do have to say
Just
thank
seemed
you
like
to the listeners who did donate to Gretchen Bear. She sent me a couple people donated like large amounts of money.
Oh, nice.
That's great.
There's a
Good.
$200 donation, and then there's a couple
Good.
50s. Yeah, and that does a lot because we just talked about the last podcast.
Right.
She's doing a thing with the kids. And,
Gretchen does cool shit.
Yeah, she
yeah,
does do
so
cool
she
shit.
says thank
It's
you to
genuine.
everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it was I'll put the link if anyone wants to donate. It'll be in the show notes.
Don't stop.
All right, Houston again. Thank you very much. Birdcloud.
Birdcloud.
Yeah, I'm going to be very vague about PI.
Yeah, that's good.
Birdcloud sent Bingo a blue velvet dress. So you know what
Ooh.
we're closing out on.
Bobby Vinton.
On this
She wore blue
podcast.
velvet.
Some Birdcloud. We'll close out on some Birdcloud.
All right.
And Jobi, did you even open your package?
Oh,
No,
there, Chad.
I have
Hand
no
that
idea
to
what it is.
Put it in water first.
I think I'm
Just
betting
saying.
I'm
I'm
betting
just
it's
saying.
olive oil.
It's a major
Somebody-
award.
Oh, what? Now hold on a second.
Yes.
What-
Fragile.
Hold on, Doug, don't open it yet. Don't open it yet.
No, open
Doug,
it.
why do you think it's olive oil?
Because of the return address.
Oh, it
it's
says
some
olive oil?
farm.
Jesus
So,
Christ!
yeah.
I thought it was some like
Some olive
some,
oil,
like,
New Jersey.
You don't have to be
esoteric
a-
hint that you got.
You don't have to be a bingo bingaman to put that together.
You know, olive oil is a county, not a city.
Damn.
Somebody
That's
sent
been a
me.
long time.
I must have bitched about it on
Popeye!
a podcast. All right, I'll let
Oh,
you
my
go
gosh.
yours first.
What are you gonna say?
Hang on.
Wait a second.
Nicely
This
wrapped,
is
by
a
the
severed
way.
head. I'm going to be very disappointed.
I, on the other hand, would be ecstatic.
Astroglide. What the?
I know. It's squeaky.
Oh.
Oh, I love this olive oil. This is some of the best in the world. Texas Olive Ranch. Yeah, this stuff is amazing. So, yeah, I've cooked with it many times.
Love olive oil.
This is really good stuff.
Who sent it? Is it on the box?
Yeah, who did?
What? Why the fuck?
Josh
Well,
Henry.
people here. The other one, someone, and I remember bitching about this in my own head in Safeway, but I must have said it out loud on a podcast.
No, it was the story with the guy because you were wearing the Border Patrol jacket.
with the hollandaise sauce.
Yeah. Weren't you looking
Oh
for?
no, that was another guy. Oh no,
that's definitely
okay,
cool.
that's what it was. It was a guy I saw in one aisle that was looking for something. It was And I said that I had looked for hollandaise sauce when I got on a Eggs Benedict kick.
Yeah.
And they didn't have, like, I thought you could get it in packets. And he said, he's like, where's the hollandaise sauce? I was getting taco seasoning or some shit. And I go, yeah, I've looked for the same thing because I like it too with my Eggs Benedict. And we had a brief conversation that you don't want to have. And then at some point I saw we're in the deli line or something together. And I go, well, Chaille knows how to make it. I'll just call Chaille, and I told the guy all the ingredients, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a fucking million years ago,
Yeah.
and out of the blue, someone's just sent me a packet of hollandaise sauce.
Wow.
So someone's
Score.
just catching up on the podcast.
And imagine how hilarious that story would be if you listened to only 15 seconds of it at a time.
That's great.
Every
Scramble jump.
That's great.
I think the first time I saw this olive oil was Little Mikey brought some over.
Oh, Austin.
A few Super Bowls ago.
Yeah, he would make homemade pasta where,
Yeah.
like, he'd roll out the dough and cut it, and
It might be
it made
from
the
him.
biggest fucking mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's amazing.
I didn't know you were going to go there.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going there because I have Jobi is fucking the best cook, and he comes over and he does it for nothing, and then I always find myself motherfucking him in my head the next day because everything that he makes is the most disastrous. He'll make, some kind of cheese pasta in one of those horrible pans that they used to use in the 1800 cast iron skillet that's all grooved and
Pitted.
it's stuck as like... Yeah, it's a
Nooks and
frittata.
crannies.
It's got a fucking cake crust and cheese and shit.
Yeah.
And it's been sitting out here for 2 days. By
And
the
it's not
time
Teflon?
I didn't eat it.
That's how I season my cast iron, is bring them over here and just let them sit for days.
Well,
There's two
I
out
actually
there
had
under
to
the
call
table.
you for directions on how to clean a fucking pan. Not only did I have to do the dishes, but I had to ask for directions because I know that there's a seasoning with the pan that probably makes no
good for you.
fucking
Good for
difference
you.
to anyone in the world unless they have some kind of disorder with their taste buds. Oh, this tastes like they didn't scrub all of a frittata out of it 3 years ago.
You didn't use soap on that, did you? You didn't clean it with soap.
Fucking crazy.
That's funny.
Jobi's totally punking you. That's hilarious. because Jobi came over to my house a couple of weeks ago to watch chick fights, and it was just him and I got drunk and passed out first. And then the next morning, Jobi was already gone in the morning. And Jenny was like, "Did you put all the food away and clean up the kitchen?" And I was like, "Do I ever put all the food away and clean up the fucking kitchen?" Jobi did all of this stuff.
Jobi's very
you.
good about this. This is when it's football and he's
funny,
leaving because he doesn't like football.
Yeah.
But he still will come over and drop off food. Another thing that I've been
what a mensch.
motherfucking all of my football friends for doing is bringing too much food because I get. We started to talk about this earlier when we were talking about Blue Apron off the air. I get panicked about waste, and that's why Tom Konopka is so great because he fucking eats a lot, and people are bringing
Yes,
now
I do.
too much food to football. Where I actually left football for a while because I was getting anxiety over the amount of there's no space to put all this food.
Yeah.
Everyone brings enough food for at least 6 people, and that means we need 6 times the amount of people. Otherwise, this food's going to go to waste. And I think, should we bring it to Tin Town at the homeless shelter?
Yeah,
But-
we should do a big. I can only keep up with 5 out of those 6 people. At this point, for God's sakes, let's do a 10 down. Yeah.
You've been working out. And
No, but I have to.
Lifting weights
Yeah. But even still, it's difficult.
I wanted to-
Just one Jet Lacy is good for about a month. It's a good thing, but
Betty brought this
Christ.
fucking tub of
and
lasagna
Beth.
that would have fed everyone
It was
by
unbelievable.
itself. At
Yeah.
one point, 3 people that were not together came at the same time,
Yeah.
all of them in a row with crock pots, like it was that women's march, but with crock pots instead of
was
pink
endless.
fucking dingleberry hats.
Dingleberry hats.
I'm like, and I'm freaking out. I was
Yeah.
like,
I couldn't believe because there's like one morning I came out to clean some of this stuff up. There was, I think, 3 crock pots, the big fuckers. I'm like, where did this come from? It's unbelievable. It just keeps multiplying.
I have to get on
It's
that
incredible.
fucking private football site that we have and tell people, listen, don't bring... Like, we have... Look
Bring
at the
half.
amount
There's
of
one
chips.
more game. There's one more game.
I know, one more game, and we already have, like, literally at least a dozen family-sized bags of chips, and people just keep
All
coming
open.
with chips.
But Jed Lacey's, when he brought that big pan, I was still
fucking
finishing what Jobi had brought in. He had that big-ass thing of ziti and cheese and whatever the fuck.
Oh, you didn't eat that, did you?
Of course I did.
That was one of the great things I loved about Tom that Chaille has is they're not worried about expired stuff. Even though you give me shit about my
little bit.
discount meat,
Yeah.
you would always eat, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's been in there for like 6 days. It's fine.
Yeah, if it's psychedelic,
Fucking
I'm not,
nuke it.
or has fur on it, I'm not going to eat it. But I'm discriminate.
I know what
the
fur
refrigerator's
looks like.
clear. I bet you do.
Don't go too far, lady. You're up next.
Speaking of fur,
But, hey,
hi-yo.
by the way, Doug, I have the answer to our extra food end of football. Hey, what are we doing with all this food? And it's not just making Tom's stomach bigger. My brother used to have these luau's in Seattle where we would cook a pig. It would be a whole thing, and all these people would be there. And we realized that then now we're stuck with all the pig, and there's 4 of us. And we're done with pig. Now everything smells like pig. We just want to. My brother, the second year, bought a ton of to-go containers. So when people are like, "Oh, you leaving? All right, hold on,"
There you
and
go.
you scoop it in, and
There you
everyone
go.
leaves with.
That's
with-
actually a great
with
idea.
Whatever you want to get rid of,
They may have been hesitant,
but
to
you make it
ask.
easier for them to get
That's
it.
a very good idea.
Also, I think you should take all of whatever's left and make it into enchiladas like you did for Christmas.
Yeah.
Slop.
And then hand
Yeah.
those out in the to-go
Yeah.
containers. What's this?
Mystery enchiladas.
Leftover enchiladas.
Oh, your turkey, your
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
did I
enchilada.
ever fucking... I still think that's a great idea.
They were delicious.
They were
They were
fantastic.
delicious.
I would eat those
It
again.
was fucking
You're gonna.
Thanksgiving dinner enchiladas.
There's about 6 of them in the freezer right now. No, there really is.
So I'll get to-go containers so that everyone who leaves here on football,
That's a great idea.
on Super Bowl, everyone leaves
We're
with
gonna
something.
be too fucking hammered. This is a great idea now.
The last
This sounds
game-
like the
last game-
recycling bin idea that was for last Super Bowl. It was
Oh, yeah,
recycling
yeah,
bins
yeah.
all over. It was a fantastic idea. And it worked for a
until,
little while.
until you're scraping
Yeah.
fucking cheese out
Yeah,
of
you're
every
scraping
fucking
pizza off
Yeah.
a fucking aluminum can.
really. It's all just going in the
Yeah,
trash.
it's just stuck to a plastic cup.
I just want to feel good.
In a
I
town
don't care
full
where
of
it goes.
fucking hippies.
Throw it in the trash, all of it.
Oh my!
All right. Jobi, y'all caught up with death pool announcements?
Yeah, I'm done with the season. I'm fucking over it.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm over.
I'm wiped.
Oh, shit.
So-
Fucking Bingo left. Bingo went 9-3 with her postseason
Yeah.
picks.
Incredible.
She's tilted because we do this our football pool at the beginning of the season. Everyone draws a card. There's 32 cards, each with a team noted on it. So you put in $20, you pick a team. If you have the Super Bowl winner at the end of the season, you get the big pot. If you have the worst team in the league, you get the small pot.
Regular season play, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do this before the first game of the season. If you get the worst team, you get the small pot. And you have one chance to steal a team if your team that you picked beats another team. Like mid-season, you go, oh, my Colts just beat the Packers. Do I take this opportunity to steal that team? And then you swap out.
Yep.
But you can only do it one time. But people can steal from you at any time if anyway, Bingo has the Falcons. So when I ask her, who do you think's going to win? Patriots are a 3-point favorite at this point, maybe 3.5. I know it's got to go up.
It's early yet.
But since her coma, when she was just barely able to speak, and we just ask a vacant human being that had no real brain function but could answer a question, it's fucking 9-3. Against the spread, she's 9-3, which
Welcome back,
the
Chaille.
fucking pundits can't do. So we got to get her Super Bowl pick. If we don't, we have time. We just get 10 days. Yeah, I was talking over the fart so I could finish my.
Chad just busted ass.
Hey, by the way,
I was trying
back,
to wait
Chad.
for a quiet moment, but it came out after
Hey,
a while.
The
Tom.
whole bar fucking vibrated.
a little good news, bad news. The good news is I've got that recorded. Bad news is he's using your lavalier mic. I mic'd his pants from behind. So
Yeah, it's on reverb.
Jesus Christ. Let's take a break and
let's take a
hit the
break and then
fan.
we'll get
I need a wet
Luquer
nap.
in to talk some Alaska
Jesus.
stories.
Yeah.
Anybody got a match? Christ.
I thought there was a wet shoe skidding across,
That's his wet. Is his wet shorts now?
Wet shoe?
skidding across the floor.
That is so close to what it actually was.
Oh my
Really
god.
is. Here you go, Tom.
Hey, we've talked to you before about Audible.com, but are you one of those hipster douchebags who doesn't really count Audible books as reading? Well, you know what? I have the bookstore for you right here in Farmington, Maine. Twice Sold Tales. Come on down to Twice Sold Tales. You can get all sorts of. We have over 180 titles that you can come down and read, and they've been read before, so you know that they're good because someone read them and bought them, and then they gave them to us because nobody really reads books. But if you still like a clunky bookshelf, Twice Sold Tales right here in Farmington, Maine at 155 Main Street. Give us a call. Find out our hours. We're at 207-778-4411. Hey, what was that number again, Doug? 207-778-4411. We're Twice Sold Tales in Farmington, just somewhere a long way from Bangor. Enjoy your book.
Hello, this is Chewbacca, and you're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast. When I'm ready to speak, then I lean in, but when I'm too drunk, I move it away. That way I have a second
one
to think.
Ever has a problem hearing you?
No one says like there's not enough.
Your
like
farts
there's too much
have
Chad.
No, exactly.
Back it up a little.
Stage
It's always
voice.
more Chad.
I hate to break this to you, but I'm not worried about anybody else. Tomorrow, I'm going to hate myself for every single thing I said today. So it's
Once
purely
again,
selfish.
It's a ritual.
once
The
again,
ritual. The ritual.
once again, another podcast you won't listen to because you're on it.
Yeah, just keep it there. Luquer, an Alaska friend. She's. I'm nervous about going on. It's the
Bullshit.
same exact conversation. You just have to keep your mouth right around here near the microphone. It's the same. And we already teased you. How do we tease that, Chaille? You just prompted me, and I don't remember. To say this is Alaska podcast number 6.
Number 3.
Number three.
No,
Number
it
three.
was you were questioning something about what we had done on like one of the the 5th and 6th podcast, which was when you went up to Anchorage with Becker and Billy Bad and Duran and everyone. And after the second one, it was part 1 and part 2. After the second one, it was like, and that's going to do it this time for the Doug Stanhope podcast. Stick around for Alaska part 3. Well, here it is. Alaska
Yeah, we ditched part 3.
There was no part 3.
There was,
Well,
but it
wasn't enough for-
devolved. We
yeah.
were so new at podcasting. That's back when we ditched 2 podcasts for everyone we aired. But I will tease this, and maybe I shouldn't. But there's a story from Alaska. I started writing Alaska stories for the book, and like they're so fucked. Just the first time I went to Chilkoot Charlie's in 1995, just that 2 weeks, the stories were just unbelievable. Where I would never even tell those stories unless one of you guys was around to confirm. And not only this time, now that Luquer's down and you guys all work together, not only are you confirming them, as I'm writing, Well, you don't remember the Marines on that? I'm writing about the Toys for Tots with the thing, and then you don't remember the Marines, and I'm like, oh shit! And so, what was going to be maybe a page coming out of a segue about hookers turned into now 11 pages just of you guys talking while oh fuck, I forget about that too. Oh shit, she was there. The pull tab girl will never come up. Don't worry about that.
Oh, the pull tab.
Oh,
But if you want to go back and listen to 5 and 6, just get a flavor. I heard the whole thing today. I listened back to back. I mean, and I'm on it. I don't want to hear
here's the
myself
thing.
either. They were some fucking gems because the general manager can fucking tell a story, and he's got some wild fucking stories.
When I went on the road with you guys in whatever fucking year it was when you guys were first starting up the podcast,
Yeah.
you played those ones while we were driving.
Yeah.
To see what it was, and I remember hearing those stories, and that was so
Yeah.
fucking fantastic. So yeah.
well,
It
there's
would be
one
worth a re-listen.
story that I have such limited memory of, but I know it happened, and that came up, and I go, I'm afraid to put it in the book. I'll have to do it in a separate, chapter, because the Alaska, just the first 2 weeks is already so long and so over the top that this is a story that after a very high party of a lot of fucking substances ends with whatever, 10 in the morning. You can't tell in Alaska in the winter. It's
Daylight and darkness.
well, after a whole night of fucked upness and stuff I don't remember with face painting, but you have pictures. Chaille's got pictures.
He got the pictures. He's got
And
the
then
pictures.
Luquer says, well, you remember the vacuum cleaner salesman? Which once you say vacuum cleaner salesman in the current age,
Yeah.
this wasn't that many years ago.
Yeah.
It already smells like bullshit.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't write this story if it weren't for having that many witnesses, a lot of who were not witnesses. A, because we were so fucked that everyone's remembering little pieces. But we all were on the same.
You all
Or
had
you
the
were
same,
hiding in your mother-in-law apartment because you were scared.
but everyone had the same big piece, the vacuum cleaner salesman.
Yes.
That was the one big piece that was there.
But I referred to this in the first book. There's some things when you're tripping that would only happen if you were tripping. No, that couldn't possibly happen while I'm tripping. Well, it wouldn't otherwise, but it is because you are in touch with another fucking spirit world or something. Because all of a sudden, after a full night of full-blown fucking raging silliness and nudity and God knows what the old days of those parties.
Oh my god.
Fucking liquid latex and pipe bomb Barney. I still can't get pipe bomb Barney.
Were these stories on the podcast, or
Yes.
did you guys tell me these stories? Because I remember these stories, so now I'm not sure what was on the
There-
podcast or what
That
you guys
pipe
told
bomb
me.
Barney is
That was on
that's
the podcast?
Yeah.
Vacuum cleaner salesman. I've heard the
No,
story.
that-
Okay,
you heard the
I've-
story in
the
the
show
van.
brought
Okay, I've heard the story, but it wasn't on a podcast.
When I was trying to figure out what this book should be or could be, there are two things: the Death Valley parties. If you're a longtime listener of the podcast, you know, Death Valley, I could make that the entire book because I could use that 7 years of the Death Valley parties and go back to how I know all these people and the stories we have together that led to Death Valley. That's an entire book if I wanted it to be. And Anchorage could, the amount of years and all the fucked up stories. But vacuum cleaner salesman. I'm just going to let you tell a little bit, Luquer, because I'm just teasing this for the book because you only have some memories. Everyone else, from what you told me, There was a knock on the door, and everyone says, "Don't answer the door," as you would when you're all gacked out and paranoid after a long night like
It's
that.
daylight.
Well, you answered the door.
Of course I answered the door.
Of course you did.
Well, because there was a cute chick at the door.
Well, that was the switch and bait. This beautiful
Yes.
girl, probably 20-something, answers the door, and you invite her in. And she says, "I'll be right back." Everybody else, for the most part, had gone downstairs into the mother-in-law apartment to hide at
Fled.
this point. Yeah. It's probably like 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, which is weird. And then she doesn't come back. This poor young kid comes back with with a Kirby
The
vacuum
fucking
cleaner.
Kirby vacuum cleaner salesman. And I, as a comedian, you go, "Oh, this is opportunity at its finest," because we have a stripper friend there. I don't know if I told her to fuck with the guy.
You had to have.
I had to have. She
Yeah,
wouldn't have thought of
I
that
believe
on her
you
own.
did.
I must have.
You were the only one answering the door, it sounds like. It sounds like nobody else wanted to interact. So
Well,
that
there
would
was like
make
15
sense.
people hiding in a closet.
Under one
Behind
blanket.
couches. He's answering the door.
There's 30 feet sticking out from an Afghan. I'm not in the room.
You know what? I'm just going to leave it there.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because, at some point, Chaille, when she was telling me all this shit, and we had that round table of what all of us remember, I was writing down the beats, and I can't find them, but they're probably in my backpack because I've been switching houses. I don't know where that
You were on the
is.
computer the whole time.
Worst comes to worst, I have to fucking talk to him on the phone again. But there's other people that were there that remember different details. But the guy leaves crying. Literally
crying.
Did you buy a vacuum at least?
Vacuums are expensive.
I was going to say, if it was today where I could afford it, I probably would have gone, I'll just take the vacuum, and I would have left it at the house. I wouldn't have traveled with it when I got back on the plane. But yeah, I probably would have.
Kirby's a good product.
It's a hell of a vacuum.
Yeah.
The funny part is where you imagine what happened to that guy at that party, where I am afraid that it's too unbelievable to put it in the book. Imagine him trying to tell his coworkers about a naked, fake-tittied girl making him ride a vacuum cleaner, and then she rode him like a horse on all fours.
I think you're saying too much.
I hope when this book comes out that a guy with fucking
credentials
can say, "I was that Kirby vacuum cleaner salesman."
I only tease this on the podcast because my alternate fear is we've done so many podcasts and I've done so many interviews in 25 years and so many fucking specials and shit I wrote on my website. There's going to be the fucking one guy. I already wrote that for the intro. Hey, if you're the one guy that's watched every single thing I've put out and listened to every CD and you listen, you're going to be the guy that goes, yeah, this is kind of a rehash. Yeah, well, guess what? When you put out fucking 200 episodes of podcasts and fucking 15 specials and these are the stories I remember. They're fleshed out a bit. So if you're that one guy that scares me, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck him. Exactly. You should say thank you for letting me hear it again. Fuck him.
Now, as teased in the last podcast, or one of the podcasts, I think you threw a podcast in. But we did tease at some point, Luquer had the OrgyDome story. OrgyDome.
I listened to the last podcast and I was very curious about what the OrgyDome.
It's just two words that look really weird next to each other on a piece of paper. It's like you want to burn it. You don't want anyone to see that you wrote
like a
the
Mad
OrgyDome.
Max sequel.
It's two words that
Yes,
you find
welcome to
kind of uneasy
OrgyDome.
in the desert and when you just got there.
I picture OrgyDome as one word, no space, but both O and D capitalized. How do you picture it?
Internet.
It
like
was
a
in
Twitter
neon.
type. It was like that, but in
At
neon.
least that's how I remember it.
An even number of people enter, an even number of people leave.
But this is Luquer is a Burning Man. Well, that was your first time,
Right.
We've done our own Burning Man, just with a more selective guest
vacuum
list.
cleaner
Less
salesman.
sponsorship.
Yeah. Less traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't have to wait in line at the X parties or the Death Valley parties to get in.
You'd have to prove that you had water with you to get into an X party.
So fucked up. I can
That was a
imagine
requirement.
if it was back in the day, Luquer, when I first showed up at Coots in '95, I would have fucking loved Burning Man. But now I'm old and I need proper plumbing, and I don't want to have to, dig a fucking toilet, or I don't know what you have to do there.
There's no intent movies, right?
Were you worried about going there, like just comfort wise?
Oh no, not at all. We were gifted the opportunity from our friends that have a camp there, and they're one of the top camps there. And so we were gifted with tickets to come into the camp. And my parental units were kind enough to give us a fifth wheel in their truck to borrow. So mi esposo had gone down with
Which kind?
I'm good with someone else and to my parents in Idaho and got all the supplies together, and then went a week and a half or so before I even got there and helped build this beautiful camp. So we had.
Did you have like ideas, or you just along for the ride at this point, or did you have ideas like, oh, we should make this kind of camp? I was worried when Brian and I bought tickets and then we bailed out.
We all did. I bought.
Yeah.
I was online for fucking 2 hours waiting as it's ticking down to get the chance to buy a ticket. And you and I think Brian bought tickets at the same time.
But point being, I never go out for fucking Halloween because I don't have a good costume idea, much less what should I wear for Burning Man.
Well, Burning Man has become huge. There's
Yeah.
80,000 people out there.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm correct, it's 5 miles across the playa and 10 miles across. Well, I mean, that's so much different. I mean, it's a big, it's huge.
But people put like a lot of creativity into it that I don't have.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm asking. Did you have like, oh, we're gonna do this, or are you just a bystander at this point, like I would have been?
I think I'm a better hippie than the people I were with were. So I'm a little conflicted on the ideal of Burning Man today, as it were 25 years ago. It was amazing, but there's all kinds of people. It's Burning White Man, to be honest.
It's Burning White Man.
But and it's expensive to be there. I mean, it really is.
That's what
your
I was
tickets
thinking.
are
It's
upwards
kinda
of
like gentrified
$400 and
Burning
more.
Man.
And
Yeah.
I mean, and there's all kinds of people. I mean, people do it in all different ways.
$400 or more just for tickets, you mean?
Yeah.
Per person.
Yes,
All right.
just to be in the event, and then you're looking at plumbing,
it's
water,
outrageous.
whether or not you want to stay in a yurt, a tent, a truck, a van, or
RV,
otherwise,
or build a fucking Zuckerberg city of your own.
We were next
and
to one
then build
of
a
those.
wall.
This is the thing: is that you said you guys were invited to join a camp, which is exactly what Hennigan. His experience is that, whereas Doug, the first, 8 years ago or 9 years ago when we bought tickets and then sold them back at no profit, by the way, we would have been Matt Kirshand, where he went and his experience was completely different from Hennigan in that they went for the first time at the camp, but Hennigan was in this one, and I think Kirshand was
fucking
like
Matt Kirshand, comedian.
Yes,
friend. He was fucking curled up in a burlap sack in a fucking
in
sandstorm.
in a U-Haul truck, in a cube truck, like just baking. Like that's called an oven, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In 1995,
That would have been us.
I could have done that.
Right.
No,
No.
I need I want an actual Holiday Inn Express where they're not allowed in after a certain hour because I said I made some promises I'm not going to follow through on. So can you change my name and if anyone calls my room?
They're probably going to have that at next year's Burning Man.
Yeah.
And I'll go. As long as there's a helipad.
I think they have those there too.
So anyway, so you show up, and well, you know what to expect. You're a seasoned traveler as far as the fun stuff goes. You know,
Right.
you know what to expect.
Right.
I had to go through a whole Rolodex of what I should say and shouldn't
Yeah.
say, but you know, Hennigan doesn't participate in any kind of those brain activities.
No, I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, you know that part, but you don't really know what you're walking into.
Right. That's the other side of that.
So you get there. What's the first thing you do once you're settled and get stakes planted?
Well, the first thing I did was I got lost. I took the wrong bus and went across the playa, exactly opposite where I needed to be.
Oh, fuck.
So I actually got gifted in the fact that, Jesus, what are they
The
called?
bus.
There's a transit system?
Yes.
Yes.
It's 80,000
No,
people.
Maglev.
You get off the bus. If you take the bus from Reno, you get off the bus. The first thing you do is make you like roll around in the playa dust and get all dirty and ring this big bell, and they remind you that you're not at Coachella and that you're at Burning Man, and they give you the kind of the rules, and it's
Or you fell for it.
Yeah.
something along those lines. But everybody else did too. So you know,
That's like what birds
ants.
do to get rid of mites.
Burning Man sounds like as good of an opportunity for a mass shooting as the gathering of the Juggalos to me.
With less Fago.
Yeah.
So I wound up, I'm a little nervous right now, but I can't remember what they're called. But there's different, stations out there, and they've got people that help you out. They're not police, but they're.
But it's so fucked. Just the idea of going to a party that will, in a week, be just bare desert, and now you have a bus system. Just taking a bus, I haven't done since 1985.
Mass transit, yeah.
Do I have to get a transfer?
Yeah.
I never really had to do
One,
this.
please. And they're all looking at you. Get in the fucking back, dick. Do I need a... Yeah.
So you
So I wind up getting a ride from the guys across the playa, and it was really kind of cool because I was there just early enough. They weren't done building different installations in the middle of the desert. And so I got to see a lot of things that I probably would have never got to see. I'll bet we probably only saw a tenth of what is out there. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So I finally get to where I need to go, and my husband's a hoarder, for better words.
Oh, is he
thinks the
too?
more cars you have in your yard, the more
because
rich
we
you
always
are.
talked about when our mothers were alive, we would swap hoarding stories.
He wouldn't agree with what was just said, but...
But
Orders never.
No,
But
I-
also, so were our other two cohorts. So when I walked up in the front of my parents' fifth wheel and everything else, it looked like Big Lake. So I was quite taken aback. There was a pool, and you can't even have water in a pool out there. And it was full of booze, like bottles of booze, and there was chairs everywhere. And they had been told to clean up several times.
Hippies told them to clean up.
There's a homeowner association rules.
What is that?
No clotheslines or wading pools.
My God.
So yeah, there was that.
We're not allowed to dress up like ostriches anymore. Were you not here last year for the
You're
meeting?
getting feathers all over the neighbor's lawn, and they're
So
complaining.
They brought
disrespectful.
so much shit that they actually had a full-size tent full of more shit
It's
next
storage.
to the fifth wheel.
An unoccupied tent that just had shit in it.
Yeah, with our, all of our costumes and bags and
It
clothing.
really
and
does
whatnot,
sound
which,
like a gentrified desert party.
which no one would ever keep fucking closed, and there was sandstorms all the time, and I kept my stuff closed, but they didn't. Whatever, that's their problem. But
So how long before you find OrgyDome?
I can't remember if it was that night.
Hang on,
I
that's
wanna-
hang on. Let's do that again, because he should have said it. How long was it before you found?
OrgyDome.
There we go.
It was within 24 hours of me being there, and I was already a little bit shell-shocked.
Were you
and a little
attracted
tired
to
from
it?
traveling. And
It's the smell mostly.
we lit up our bikes because it's pitch black out there.
I love shrimp.
Shrimp.
And the four of us are riding around, and my husband sees the big sign.
When you say riding around, because I've seen enough pictures
bicycles.
of Burning Man that when you say riding around, I picture you on one of those big front wheel 1920s bicycles
yeah, the
but
parasol.
built for two, and you're behind them on the small wheel in the back.
Nope, just bikes from cheap bikes from Walmart. You regift them when you're
From
done.
the storage tent.
You know,
Or a guy.
And you swore we'd never use all this stuff. Who's the smart guy now?
I picture a guy on a kangaroo going, "Jump in the pouch. I'll take you where you want to go." Come on, it's like a tauntaun. Just get in. That's for you, Jobi.
I pictured a white guy on a Segway with black people in front of him laying down track so he could ride across the dirt.
So as he rolled over one, he would run to the front. So it'd just keep going.
Brilliant.
Those kids walk 7 miles to school every day. They're fucking cheap to get to Lay Bridge.
Only during season.
Lay Bridge. Hey, do you want to get there on the rapid transit, or do you want to go to La Bridge?
The bridge.
So, Luke's, you show up in front of OrgyDome. Ding. Let's go in here. Do you even consider that initial part where you had to roll around in dirt and you go, "Oh, I'm unclean as a woman"?
fuck yeah. There was the four of us, and
He agreed quickly.
my husband wanted to go in because his rule was you should only, if you find an OrgyDome, you shouldn't go in the last day. You should go in the first day.
Solid rule. Solid rule.
He's like, the last day is disgusting.
That shrimp went poor.
I mean, we still went the last day, but you know, we got the stories from the first day.
If you're there from the first day, you know which areas to hang out in.
Remember her?
It's Tuesday
No
or
way.
Wednesday. I can't remember what day, but it was literally like the first day. So the four of us, three out of four of us,
Two
are
couples?
like, no, dude, no.
No.
You and three dudes? Of course.
RB and BB, respectively.
Yeah.
The
I'm
uninvited.
saying.
None of us want to go, but he's like, no, my husband's like, we're going in.
demographic. 3 dudes for every chick.
So the Burning
Minus the chick.
The Burning Man OrgyDome is the same as the Craigslist OrgyDome, basically.
Without the $400 ticket.
So there's no line.
There's no line.
There's no line. And this guy's he's got, got a big top hat on. He's barking and
Don't they all?
I'll give you the shortest version, but he basically tells us like, well, you have to have ID. And my husband says, I have a gray beard. Come on, I just want to look. That's all. Guy's like, wait a minute. And our other two people are waiting for us. And the whole time I'm going, I'm not ready for this. I just got here. I haven't got my legs on yet. I just need a minute. Like, give tomorrow, next day, I don't care. I'm in, but not today. And
There's no
Just then-
There's no admission price for OrgyDome.
No.
You just have to want to go.
there's no. It's all
Yeah,
bartering out
yeah.
there. So
You got to want it.
No admission price, no line. That's what it says
Hey,
on the sign.
what,
right
what
out
can
front.
what can I trade you for a clothespin for my nose on the last day of OrgyDome?
I'm sure that my husband would tell this story in his own version, and he's a great storyteller. I am not. However, my version is, as we were standing there and I was getting fussy and he was getting fussy with me,
Fussy. Wow,
This-
we have aged.
this woman
Fussy.
walks out and she's in her 60s and she's got a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. She's got one glove on, a half a stocking, lips hanging out of her panties, and her boobs hanging out of her, and she's like, there ain't nothing going on in here, kids. And I was like, that's it. We're done. I'm not going in there. I'm not doing it.
Lips hanging out of
Well,
the
that's what
panties.
I was gonna ask you, how, if you're the first guest to OrgyDome,
Yeah.
you're like, I'm the only guy at my own orgy. But maybe, now that you bring up the 60-year-old woman, she was the OrgyDome cock block where she walked out and goes, fuck this, there's nothing going on in here. And then everyone sprung out of the bushes going, all clear, orgy starts now.
Yeah, she's gone.
She's the cooler.
Yeah. Oh, my.
I was thinking more of like an undercover barker. When my kids were young, we were at a carnival and my son wanted me to win him a Batman at this fucking horrible game and I couldn't win it. And so finally I just drug the guy to the side and I go, listen, give me the fucking Batman and I'm going to raise a fucking big fucking fuss out here about how I just want a Batman and you'll get more people. And he's like, all right. He gave me a Batman. I want a Batman. Holy shit. I just want a Batman. And that was her.
You get your kid to cry by poking him in the face. Yeah. Look at how proud he is. He's crying. You poked him in the eyes.
More importantly, you didn't have to go to plan B where you beat the shit out of the guy and take the Batman.
Listen, the Batman's mine, whether you know it or not.
Yeah. We're going to start with plan A.
Yeah.
Let's let the lady talk. You go in the fucking the landlady from Kingpin finally leaves.
So we leave, and my husband's pissed at me, doing the whole like, you used to be so cool and open-minded. I just want to look, and he's mad. He's mad, and I'm irritated because I'm like, well, I just wasn't ready yet. I wasn't trying to be uncool.
He's still mad like a diplomat. I can hear him saying this, but yeah, in your relationship,
So, let's get to Saturday.
All right.
That was Tuesday or Wednesday.
Nothing
there Wednesday.
Yeah, you looked around. You saw.
Oh, the end of OrgyDome.
Yeah.
So
The brown banana OrgyDome.
Yeah, let's wait till Saturday. Because on a
But
Tuesday.
don't eat those strawberries, Dave. OrgyDome.
So
On a Tuesday, OrgyDome isn't really big because everyone has to work in the morning. Let's wait till the weekend.
Yeah. We're home we're under a tent by 10. Yeah.
Oh.
So Saturday comes along. Everybody's been drinking all day, and our cohorts go and do their own thing, and it's just my husband and I riding our bikes around. And it's hard. I mean, it's hard to remember where things are out there. And towards the end of the event, like the last couple days, they take away all the street signs and whatnot, so you really don't know what you're doing. And we're riding our bikes around all happy.
And get there from here.
There it is. The OrgyDome. And I looked at my husband and I go, drop your bike now. And he's like, what? And I go, we're not going through the rest of our marriage with this in your craw. Drop your fucking bike. And he's like,
nice.
but there's 70 people in line. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Drop the bike. So we dropped the bike.
You didn't have a platinum card for OrgyDome? Sorry, that's an inside Anchorage joke.
Not if you listen to Alaska Part 1.
You'd think if you were there on the first day, you could skip the line a little bit. Like, I was here earlier.
Make
I
friends.
wanted man to see your manager.
I think I left my purse in there.
I'm with a
Somehow you get in. I'm with a Zuckerberg.
I should be on the list. Double check. I should be on the list. Okay, I'll get in line with 70 people. How long did it take you to get in?
Like 55 minutes. Somewhere in there. Almost an hour.
Something very specific, like 55 minutes?
I was counting it down because I was a little nervous.
So was a guy.
Well, that's another thing I'd forgotten. Like the first day when he tried to get me to go in there, I asked him, I go, what are your intentions? He goes, what do you think? I'm taking you into an OrgyDome. So we finally get to the front of the line, and there's this guy, and he's wearing like a cod piece and a feather boa, and he's jacked up, and he's just dancing. He's doing his things like, I want to be in there, but I want to be out there, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? And he kind of gives us some of the rules. And we finally get inside. Checks our ID. No, hold on.
What are these rules?
Back to Cameo.
He gives us his version of the rules, but then when we finally get in, there's this beautiful ethereal girl, and she's, hello, welcome to the OrgyDome.
There was a girl.
The Fifth Element she's from.
Yeah, the Fifth Element.
So there are two sides. There's a couple side, and there's a free-for-all. In the meantime, we have a waiting room.
This is where the fight starts, I'm guessing. Oh, I was thinking free for all. You wanted couples, but I thought maybe we'd change it up with you go to couples.
I don't even know you.
So you'll get to the waiting room. You'll take your number, which is like a DMV ice cream, like now serving. Like you pull a number, now serving.
Fuck.
And we were, oh shoot, I'm so nervous. We were 548 or 528. I still have the number. And there was.
I love that you're still the same girl you were at 16 that saved the ticket stub for the time you saw the Mannheim Steamroller with your parents at Christmas, and you have that framed. And now, oh yeah, this is where I fucked that Jamaican guy while my husband fucking masturbated and cried.
He's in the line holding 542. What, we can't go in together?
Was there any kind of fluffers in the hour-long line in the desert?
No.
Boring.
A lot of blue balls.
A lot of snickering. So
A lot of tight sweat
So
shorts.
she explains to us that if when you walk in, you'll pick your number and you'll wait, and when it's your turn, when your number comes up, you'll go into this area, and you take off your clothes, put them in the cubby, and there's a table that has everything you need, like moist towelettes, warm towelettes, lubrication, condoms, the whole gamut. You know, whatever you need to be sanitary.
rubber fist.
And
Popcorn,
you take
peanuts.
you're supposed to take a
Double-dunks.
bucket with you.
cigarettes.
Dog leash.
Gum.
They have buckets for you to take so that you can put away your personal things that you've used. So,
The bucket.
Like your flip-flops and your tank top. What do you
Biohazard.
put in your
those go in the cubby.
Hey.
You walk in naked. You're naked.
You hump it in, you hump it out.
That helps.
Yeah.
Hey, like the
no.
Indians, leave no presents.
Yeah, if it's your blown out diaphragm, you can't leave it in the
Only
desert.
footprints and a stain.
Put it in the biohazard bag.
That's it.
What's that, a retainer? Spit it out.
So did you grab yourself some condoms and some toys?
So there was probably like 50 people ahead of us for our number, 50 couples or people. I mean, there's individuals.
This is in the waiting room.
Yeah, we're in the waiting room.
So not only the 55 minutes in line, now you have to wait in a waiting room.
Well,
like
because
the
it's
fucking
split
dentist.
at that point because
Got
they're
it.
going to go in
Yeah,
this.
there's two different areas.
Are there TVs in the waiting room or like big
don't-
buckets of punch?
You don't-
I'm
no,
trying to
you don't-
picture what we
No
have
one
in the-
drinks the punch
You
in the
don't
waiting
need
room.
TVs.
Is there Highlights magazine?
No. You're so busy
Yeah,
people
Goofus
watching.
and Gallant.
I've only been in the army at large gatherings, so you have to imagine what I'm picturing. Like, I don't know what sort of...
Boxer shorts and bad haircuts.
Go ahead.
I'm enthralled with like watching people. So Duran and I sit on this.
I hope so.
hope
You're in
so.
the orgy
Hello.
dome.
Fucking an orgy.
So we sit on this couch and about 5 minutes goes into it. We're waiting and I'm watching people and I go to nudge my husband and all of a sudden I hear
What?
and I look over and he's asleep. Like he's been harassing me for a week and he fell asleep in the orgy dome. And I'm pissed. I'm like, did you just fucking fall asleep?
I would have been just like him, where I would have been sitting in the waiting room debating, well, what's the shortest way out of here? Couples or free for all? Like, what's the shorter waiting
Closest
list? Can we
exit.
just get this over with?
Exactly.
Bar dining room.
You're invested in that 55 minutes. You're invested to the point where there has to be some experience other than waiting in a fucking 55-minute line.
Luke,
There was not stuff going on in the waiting room. Like,
No, but everybody's dressed in a differently. Like there's costumes and it's pretty cool. Like just to watch people out there because there's all kinds of people.
had you decided free for all or couples?
No,
No.
What?
no.
she was letting him sleep on it.
The whole
Literally.
we were supposed to be
Drop the mic,
We were
Chad.
supposed
Drop
to
the mic.
be. We were supposed to be looky-loos. There were like one of the rules was like you can't touch without asking. You can't engage without asking. I mean, it was like there's a lot of rules out there, and we didn't want to partake in that. Duran just was.
Jesus
Damn it.
Christ. Killing me,
He
Smalls.
was just curious. So that's that. So we finally get our number 528. That was our number actually. So we finally get our number called. And
by curious, you mean that you're denying the core knowledge that you know that he hoped that he would bang some porn star while you masturbated watching and egging him on. That's the curiosity he had, is could this possibly happen? We'll never know until we try. I'm curious about this place.
Well, no, because it was the 6th day, not the first day. And I already knew him as a pretty clean guy that wasn't going to fucking happen.
No, that's what was in his head when he was curious. You don't buy a lottery ticket just because you wonder what the numbers might be.
Now I'm picturing how many people went in as looky-loos, and if there was just a steady stream of people going, no, we're good. We just wanted to watch you fuck for a second and see.
He didn't expect he was going to be William H. Macy in Boogie Nights, watching you take 10 dicks while he's going, hey, honey, what?
I was going to say that if taking a nap in the waiting room refutes your claim, but not really. I would take a nap in the waiting room and then wait until later
Wait, think
for
about
the show.
it. Good move. Good move.
Exactly.
I'm not really, whatever you want to do.
Listen, I'm just going to jerk off and take a nap.
So
check and check.
you finally wake him up. I assume you wake him up when your number's called.
Yes.
And which way do you go? Free for all?
The couple side.
Couples.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wait, wait.
It's like it's a kids' table at Thanksgiving. Now I remember those days as too much fun. Let's sit with Grandma.
Well, besides Grandma, we were probably the oldest people in there.
That's the opposite of all these stories. Usually when it's a swinger club. Tom, what was the place? The Red Barn?
Red Rooster.
Red Rooster
Commercial
in
Center.
Vegas?
I've never been there. I've heard.
I got pictures. I mean, I don't have pictures.
I don't have
Or
pictures.
just
I race the
nude
pictures.
beaches. You show up and then you expect your first time you're going to
The
see.
Green Door, that's the other one.
Green Door.
There you
Okay.
go. Chris and Mike's. I've just heard these things. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, well, we heard about one in
Portland.
but
we went to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My poor gay cousin had to see me naked. Anyway, so unlike going to a nude beach where everyone's 70 and tube sock titties, you go in and
Tube-sock titties.
you're the 70-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, basically.
Basically.
So we walk in and the couple side, and basically everybody's trying to outfuck, all the guys are trying to outfuck their girl in front of each other. So like there's, somebody's got a leg behind their head and somebody's bent over and that somebody's doing missionary and everybody's giggling. This one gal is telling her boyfriend, like, I can't believe I'm letting you do this. And he's like, they're never going to see us again. So it's pretty funny.
Giggling. There's no giggling
Well, hang
in
on.
OrgyDome.
The couples side is just for couples to fuck in front of other people.
Exactly.
It's not like wife swap thing.
Right. Exactly.
But did they tell you that ahead of time? Did you go
Yeah,
and go,
yeah.
am I going to fuck someone else? I don't
Yeah, the
know.
Ethereal girl. She
So that's
was very
free for all
clear.
side.
Very clear on that.
Yeah.
So Duran and I find this, there's one.
Jesus, you got to stop with the name.
I'm so sorry.
You're killing me.
I told you I was going to do that.
There, I just spiked your
There's one
fucking thing.
available mattress, and it's like, and there's no sheets on it, and it's like a band house, and I'm like, oh fucking no way, no, not doing that. And we wind up, and he's like, just sit down for a minute. So we wind up with our, like, think of the mattress, the very corner. We stick our butts on the very corners of this mattress, and we're kind of giggling. We're probably there for about a minute and a half when that lady from the first day with the cigarette in her mouth comes over and goes, move over, kids, I'm changing the sheets.
Oh, fuck, no. Oh, my God. Move over. Changing the sheets.
So we scurry to the other side. And that was a whole different. The first thing we saw was a gal taking on like,
Wait,
four or
you
five.
went to the free for all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got-
wait.
That's the fun
Switch
side.
sides.
Oh, I thought you
That's
meant
the
the
fun
other
side.
side of the mattress.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you went to
So-
the other side to the free for all.
That's that's so there's ins and outs, so to speak, at OrgyDome. You could go once you're
Did you
in.
have to get a hand stamp to come back in?
Sorry, one in, one out.
It's a visual fluff. Then you go back.
So you're in the free for all area because she scared the shit out of you.
And the first, she scared me the first day. From the only other day.
The ghost of sex future.
Most people go from the couples area to the free for all area because they're more turned on. They went because they were afraid.
Yeah.
Ah!
I'd rather take strange cock than lay on that mattress.
Time to change your sheets.
So we wind up at the other side. The first thing we see is a girl taking 5 dicks, and I can't handle it. And
Hang on.
I kind of looked at
Let's
her.
clarify that.
There's a lot of math going
There's a lot
on.
of symbology here.
5 dicks.
We looked at the back of the room. There's like a pregnant girl
got
in
it.
there with a couple things going on, and there. So anyway, yeah, we lasted about another minute and a half, and to be honest, we were really only in the actual like orgy part of the dome for maybe 3 to 4 minutes.
Well, fuck, that was worth waiting for.
My God.
They just ran through like scared people in a haunted house.
Go this way, go that way.
Covering their eyes the whole time, bumping into walls.
Go!
And the end of the story.
Change the sheets.
The end of the story is they both went to their camp, said, "Hey, I think I'm going to get some shut eye." Me too. Then the guy that his name keeps accidentally coming up, the husband goes back while she's getting 5 dicks unknowingly to him in the free for all. He's fucking the landlady from the couple's side in a broom closet.
Yeah.
One of the funniest parts of that, we got our clothes on, walked out of there, and his first remarks were, "It surprisingly didn't stink in there." And I go, "I think that was kind of hot," and I stuck his hands down my panties. He was like, "God damn it! I'm never taking you back there. It's like throwing a dog or a bone to the dog pound." So, yeah,
The OrgyDome.
I played my cards right, I think, on that one.
This is a
Good
guy
move, yeah.
that when our
Incredible,
friend
Luquer.
who would he went, we were in Costa Rica and he scored some blow from a guy that he ended up fucking the dude for more blow and
Another guy, not the
yeah. And then our friend who fucked a dude in Costa Rica, and then, you know, when you're doing cocaine, you say too much and you're too honest. He told us about it. Well, like a year later, he was playing up there in Alaska, and he went into your husband's hot tub, and your husband freaked out, germaphobe style. That's the guy that fucked the dude in Costa Rica. He could have AIDS. Why was he in my hot tub? I can't imagine how he slept through the OrgyDome without Purelling continuously.
Yeah.
like just like
That was
a
the move.
fire hose
Purell.
spraying him with Purell the whole time.
Well, he just
Like it's body tanning, that's spray tanning.
Yeah.
this is
the exit
still
booth.
15 years later a disagreement we have. He just figures that if you might be someone that's gonna suck a dick, that you should call it. And my point is, it's really none of your fucking business, and that's not gonna happen. So
I wonder how
And we don't have
poorly
cocaine
you
at home.
maintain your hot tub that there was no chlorine in it that would kill germs.
Hold on. By the way, there was a story that just happened a couple days ago. They've defrosted a turkey in that hot tub.
no, that's not true. The hot tub's
Before or
broken.
after?
You froze
Well, now
a turkey.
it is.
They kept a turkey cool in the hot tub.
I took
Sorry,
the lid off the
my
hot tub
mistake.
to clean it, and there was a fucking turkey carcass in there.
You don't know where that turkey's been?
And my husband was like, I forgot about that. I was trying to cool it down so I could make some soup later.
Wait, he was gonna use it?
Yeah.
I didn't get that part. Wow, your story's way better than mine.
I think that's a
Way more-
podcast. I don't know if anyone else
Nothing can
Holy
follow
has
shit.
that.
anything else to add.
There's nothing that.
That is fucking fantastic.
That was brilliant, Luquer. Holy Christ. Read the book.
I love my husband. He's awesome.
We all love your husband.
But I do want to say, if you want to get a flavor for Alaska and things that happen up there, those 2 podcasts were.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun
I want
listening
to
to
go
those
back
today,
to
and
them for sure.
I don't like to listen to myself either. I gotta edit this shit. That's enough torture.
I honestly, I mean, I'd have to go back and interview people, but the whole book could have been about Coots as much as the Death Valley book
There it is. The follow
maybe
up.
all Death Valley.
Doug, I got
Maya Angelou wrote 7 autobiographies. I only know this because I was going through old shit I wrote, and at one point when she got the Congressional Medal of Honor, I was saying there was like some guy that actually got the shit beat out of him in civil rights marches, and she's a poet. And I was thinking about putting that into the book because it led into something, but I wanted a fact check because when I used to write shit for my website, I don't fact check. And she did a little bit of civil rights stuff, but mostly just window dressing. And mostly she was a fucking poet. So, like, what was my point? Where was I going with this?
We're talking about Coots.
She had 7 Thank you, Tracy. She had 7 autobiographies, and I was going to write, yes, she constantly came up with new great things about herself that she thought everyone...
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't told you enough about my life. Here's
Yes.
something else interesting about me. But yeah, these stories aren't about me.
Right.
I want to write about Coots, because Coots itself, the history of Coots without me ever being... If you did a history of Chilkoot Charlie's, my name would not be in the most top 1,000 interesting things that happened there.
I beg to differ.
I would think not to as well.
From the fucking days of people
Well-
driving cars through the front door and the
You'd be 999, but you'd still
Yeah.
be in the top 1,000.
Yeah.
I do want to say that.
I'd get a thank you probably.
Yeah, an acknowledgement. I do want to say when I first got hired up at Coots, it was we were playing in Hawaii. They just came down and saw us, booked us up there, and Alaska and Chilkoot changed my life. And that's how I met you. That's how I met Hedberg. And
It's spider webs, like Death Valley.
I love it.
It's
And
spider webs.
I also met my lovely bartender Tracy.
Yeah.
And it still goes on, the bar. And cheers to Coots. Cheers to Coots.
Hey, I never
Cheers,
mentioned
every one
this
of you.
before on the podcast, I don't think, but when I first moved to Alaska when I was 5 years old, it was because my dad worked as a...
fuck, I always forget.
my dad worked as a fucking...
Doorman.
Doorman. Fucking, he came up with handcuffs. He worked at Chilkoot Charlie's.
No way!
When I lived in Alaska as a little kid, so my dad had told me a shitload of stories. He had the shakers of the metal can, salmon can shakers of noisemakers, and the t-shirts. We cheat the other guy and pass the savings on to you. That's so I've fucking known about Chilkoot Charlie's forever. So yeah, you talk about spider
forget
webs.
that.
What is
Awesome.
it likely?
fucking-
How awesome.
Yeah,
Unbelievable, man.
Changed my life.
Yeah. That is
Chilkoot Charlie's, everybody.
Everyone.
Coots.
Cheers, man.
Coots.
Thank you, Doug Stanhope, Celebrity Death Pool, Jobi, Tom Konopka, cooking up some Blue Apron, Chilkoot Charlie's, heavily represented by Luke's, the Grand Return of Chad Shank, Ggreg Chaille, and we don't forget, we're going to close out on Birdcloud.
Honey, I feel your bone. I'd rather sit
I didn't have an idea. I didn't know anything past, hey, this is Doug Stanhope. The rest was just going to be on the fly.
All right, everything. I think I got Chad, check your mic.
Check.
Oh, there
Check,
we go.
check. Hello,
Great,
hello.
Great. I do want to say that I went up to Coots because
yeah, good.
Hang on. If you really can, however you say it, there's a word for where you can take the sound out, like you can isolate Chad's earlier fart. If you could use that fart for every time we've accidentally said that name.
I'll get something that you think will be his fart.
Listen, I can fart again. There's no need for Chaille to work
what's
so
all this
hard.
talking? I should be farting right now.